So after doing some digging, I was able to find out what the rough performance of a setup with a NVIDIA GTX 1080Ti and a 7800K Intel Core i7 CPU along with 32GB of DDR4 RAM clocked at 2800 MHz could actually perform like. I did this by comparing the rumored specs of both the CPU and the GPU to the similar last generation of CPUs and GPUs. Now it's estimated that the GTX 1080Ti will have a near performance to the NVIDIA GTX Titan XP or the Pascal edition of the Titan X, with a whopping 10.8 teraflops, only a 1% difference to the Titan XP, which is pretty impressive. This goes along with 3,328 CUDA cores compared to the Titan X's 3,584 CUDA cores. However, the GTX 1080Ti may have a higher base clock and boost clock compared with the Titan XP, with a whopping 1,503 MHz at base and a whopping 1,623 MHz at boost, compared to the Titan XP's 1,417 MHz base clock and a 1,530 MHz boost clock. Pretty substantial that the GTX 1080Ti's base clock is nearly as much as the Titan XP's boost clock, only 27 MHz difference. This fills in the gap for performance from the teraflops and CUDA cores, bringing with it nearly the power of a Titan XP, maybe a 2% difference in genuine frame rate. Now the Intel i7 7800K is rumored to have the power of the current generation's 6900K, so I will be using data from the i7 6900K to get a feeling of what we might get. Right, starting with 4K gaming, Rise of the Tomb Raider at ultra detail could potentially get a genuine frame rate of 66 frames a second. Pretty impressive. Then Hitman at ultra detail could potentially get a genuine frame rate of only 35 frames a second. Not too impressive, but the game is optimized around AMD GPUs, which can handle up to 44 frames with a Fury X. Now, Far Cry Primal, a very GPU intensive game, could get a potential genuine frame rate of 54 frames a second. Pretty average, but it's still better than 30 frames. Then Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor could potentially have a genuine frame rate at 4K of 79 frames per second at ultra detail. Pretty impressive, I must say. Now finally ending the benchmarks with Grand Theft Auto 5. At ultra detail at 4K, Grand Theft Auto 5 could potentially have a genuine frame rate of 70 frames per second, which is amazing. So that's what type of performance we could be looking at with the Intel Core i7 7800K and a NVIDIA GTX 1080Ti, along with 32GB of RAM. However, what could the price of this system be like? Well, looking at the Intel Core i7 6800K's launch price, it could potentially be between $450 and $500 for only the Intel Core i7 processor. The 1080Ti is a bit more complicated. However, rumored prices suggest a launch price of $1,000 United States dollar, which is pretty expensive but powerful. So we could be looking at a price for a system like this for 4K gaming for around $3,000. This is after you get your new motherboard, because you will need a new motherboard for the next generation of Intel processors and a CPU cooler. This price also includes the case. Right, that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you're looking forward to the GTX 1080Ti and if you will be picking one up for 4K gaming. And like the video if you would like to see a video on what genuine frame rate actually is. And remember to subscribe for more content, and I will see you guys in the next video.